back to Macro Golf YouTube. So in today's video, we are talking about club head speed. Now, it is pretty much impossible at the moment to avoid the term club head speed. Everybody, all the way down from your amateurs all the way up to the top level pros, are chasing as much speed as they possibly can. And to be honest, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just always going to be an evolution of the game. Any sport you go into, everyone's always trying to push those boundaries. So it's inevitable that it was going to happen. But just for our sport, we're probably a little bit behind most other sports. But now people are going for it. We're starting to get other concerns of people trying to push boundaries, trying to get it as quickly as they can, and it's opening a whole can of worms and a whole lot of questions that probably need to be answered. So in this video, I'm just going to take you through 4 things that I deem as probably the essentials for adding speed. And pretty much if you do these 4 things right, it's going to be very, very difficult to not add any speed. So across these 4 things, I'm going to leave probably the most important one to the end. And I'm just going to cover 3 things to start off with that if you get right, will increase your potential to add speed hugely. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that seems quite obvious, but there are a lot of people getting wrong in the way that they're doing it, and that is training. So here I'm talking about resistance training or any type of kind of exercise that you're doing to try and increase your club head speed. So typically we need to get strong and we need to get powerful. And the way to do that is very, very basic, and it doesn't need to be that sophisticated, that clever, and you don't need lots of really kind of interesting, strange equipment. With a recreational gym and a little bit of resistance, we can do what we need to do to increase our potential to add speed with a pretty simple plan. Especially if you've never done any resistance training before, it's going to be pretty easy for you to get stronger and more powerful with a pretty basic plan. When we look at the science, the plans that have been put together to increase club head speed in kind of untrained cohorts is very basic and very simple and really, really easy for a beginner to follow. So with the training, you need to be getting strong, you need to be getting powerful. So ideally we do some kind of compound moves. I really like moves from the floor. I think they kind of transfer really well across. And your fundamentals need to be strength and power. Obviously, you are going to want to add some muscle mass and do this kind of stuff. But in terms of a hierarchy, I would probably say that you want to be adding power and strength. And then as a byproduct of that, you want to be working a little bit on your muscle gain. So lower rep ranges to start off with, build that strength up, and then in those sessions, you can include a little bit of muscle gain as well. So stage number 1, get your training right, get your strength there, get your power there, add a little muscle if you want to, but it doesn't need to be that clever, that sophisticated. A pretty simple basic strength plan will be good enough for now. So what that training plan is going to do for you is it's going to allow you the ability to swing faster. This is what we're looking at with this thing. We're not talking about at the moment about kind of being able to swing faster. We're talking about your absolute potential of building a body that is able to swing faster. This is the first step that people often miss out. So you need to build a body that is strong, powerful, and resilient to that task that you're going to put it through. If you start going to trying to swing a lot kind of beyond your potential, that's when we start to get into problems in terms of technique and also in terms of possible injury. So we need to build a strong, resilient, powerful body that has the potential to swing at high velocities. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is, if you've been following me for a while, something I really kind of yap on about, and this is mobility. Now, when people think about mobility and they think about club head speed, they simply think about the ability of your body to rotate, maybe to rotate your hip and to get extra turn and get extra power. Now that's great, and you will add a little bit of speed by being able to rotate further and being able to get into these positions, which is perfect. The second part of that is you want to be able to fix up any techniques. The faster you get, the more they're going to be exposed. So you want to kind of go through a screening and identify any of those limitations, whether it's from the shoulder, from the hip, from the ankle. All of the areas need to be assessed, and a kind of a solid mobility plan should be able to clear up most of those issues. But your mobility is going to do more for you than that. It's also going to link into section 1, which was the training, and it's going to allow you to lift more and become more powerful. The better your body can move in the sequence that it needs to move in through the mobility work, the stronger you're going to be in the gym. The stronger you are in the gym, the faster you're going to be able to swing it. So your mobility work isn't necessarily just about the gold swing. It's about being able to create a body that can move pain-free in the most efficient way, and that's going to help you in the gym, and then overall, help your club head speed. The third one I'm going to talk about is one that probably gets overlooked the most. Now, your nutrition, if you're going to try and increase your club head speed, is going to be really, really key. And there's going to be a couple of reasons for that. One, if you're doing a lot of training in the gym, you're going to need sufficient energy source to complete that training, and also sufficient energy source to recover from that training. So that means you're going to need your fats and your carbohydrates and your proteins as well. You want to be able to fuel those workouts and recover well from those workouts. 1, so it doesn't ruin your training and your practice for your golf, and 2, so you can get back into that gym and retrain as fast as possible. The second thing you want to do is you're not going to want to get sick. If you're adding training into your resistance training into your golf training, that's a lot more volume that you're doing throughout the week, and you're going to need the vitamins, you're going to need the minerals, and you're going to need the energy to perform that, so you don't get ill and sick and get injured, which would be an absolute disaster for you. And the third thing that is, if you are training a lot and you are looking to add a little bit of muscle mass, then you need to get that nutrition right in the amount of calories you're consuming as well. So you need to be consuming more calories than you're burning to help you be able to build that muscle and build a little bit of weight, which overall should help as well with your club head speed. And finally, we get onto the big one. Now, funnily enough, this is actually one that people often don't even think about when they think about trying to add club head speed. And that is the fact that you're going to need to swing faster. Now, it seems obvious to think that if we wanted to run faster, we would sprint as fast as we can. If we wanted to get stronger, we would lift more. But when we're talking about kind of swinging faster, people often avoid the fact that they need to push boundaries and swing faster. Now, this becomes difficult because we get embarrassed. Now, if we go over to the driving range, we will try and hit the ball as hard as we can. We know we're not going to hit a great shot. But that's not really the purpose at this point. The purpose is breaking down these boundaries and adding speed. So this is the most important aspect of all of this, which is actually putting together all of that work you've done on those first 3 sections and getting that into the distance and the ball speed and the club head speed. So what you're gonna need to do, number one, is get yourself a radar, and ideally you wanna swing that club away from the ball. You wanna do some kind of training with your golf club, swinging as fast as you can away from the ball. That way you're not gonna care about where the ball's going, you're not even caring about if you can hit the ball, you're just trying to get that swing going as fast as you can, and that's going to develop your power through that swing. The next thing you want to do is you want to try and take some of that across into hitting the ball. So that's where you can start to look at your ball speed numbers and different things, but don't worry too much about your ball flight at that point. The idea of all of these things and all 4 of these things is being able to increase your potential to swing faster. Now, we're not saying you then have to force it. When you then go out into the course and you do your competition swing, you're going to swing at a percentage of your maximum, but if we can increase that maximum, that is the key. All of these 3 aspects, and especially the last one, the 4th one, are going to increase your potential to swing a lot faster. If we can increase your potential to swing a lot faster, when you then go and swing at your competition percentage, funnily enough, that's going to be faster as well. So if you're really looking to increase your club head speed, you want to be targeting all 4 of these areas. All 4 of these things interlinked with each other, and all 4 of them will increase your potential to get the most out of your swing. If you're not going to do any of the first 3, then you kind of set yourself a bit of a ceiling. You will still get some kind of speed gains from just swinging faster, great. But if you want to build that further and you want to kind of keep reaching and keep knocking that ceiling higher and higher and higher, you've got to get those first 3 things right. It's a journey to go on. You can get fast progress, but if you really want to add serious speed and serious distance, you've got to stick with it and hit all 4 consistently. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoyed it, it'd be great if you hit the like button. Also click the subscribe button as well. And if you've got any questions, drop me a comment in the messages below. Until then, look forward to seeing you in the next video.